Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today's video, we're covering Brigade Etemon, or E-Brigade as some people are calling it. Very interesting deck, taking one of the most hyped black engines, which is Brigade, and combining it with Etemon. Etemon got a whole lot of new support in Classic Collection, which makes the original Etemon really pop off now that it has literally double the targets in deck to trigger to bring to field for free. So very interesting deck. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Don't forget, our memory marker for the month of December is going to be Yokomon. This is handmade out of clay by my wife. The face has been painted on by hand. Super adorable, very, very highly detailed. All the little details there. So cute. Great memory marker. So like I said, this is our Patreon reward for the month of December. Now, if you want any of our previous memory markers we've had on the channel, check the coffee link in the description below. There you can get all the previous memory markers we've had on the channel, as well as even more to choose from now. The benefit, though, of going through Patreon is that you get the current featured memory marker for usually a bit of a discounted rate. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into this. First up for our eggs, I'm going with the Missimon here as just a one of. Yes, giving 1,000 to our D-Brigade is awesome, but turning a 1,000 DP into a 2,000 DP or a 3,000 into a 4,000 really isn't a big deal, honestly. Half the time you're swinging to security with these guys, you kind of expect them to die, honestly. So just the one up, but because we do a lot of digivolving through a lot of rookies, so I do want to run the big 5 of for sure. But mainly Pagumon. I'm loving Pagumon in pretty much all of my black decks right now. Just on deletion, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's black, you get to add it to hand. That's great. Great on these rookies that we're just kind of spamming to the field and just like crashing them and killing them repeatedly. So he's great for this. And just anytime you can get a deck that can just have a plethora of hand resources is great. So whether it be tons of draw power or effects like this that add to hand is great. First up, we've got Commandramon here, and this is the on deletion, reveal the top 3 of your deck. You may play one Commandramon among them without paying its memory cost. The rest go to the bottom. So this is kind of feeds a bit of a rookie rush strategy, and D-Brigade Rookie Rush has been fairly popular on and off, and this is one of the cards that really feeds into the whole strategy because we play a lot of Commandramon. First up, we've got the BT3 Vanilla. This is just a 2 play cost or 0 Evo. Pretty standard vanilla little guy here. Next, we got the BT5 blocker version. Great Evo target here, 0 cost Evo. And then to follow it up, we have another 0 cost Evo Commandramon Vanilla. But this one's got a big old 5,000 DP. So in that 4 Evo or that 4 play cost, both of these guys are not ideal to hard play unless you're getting to play them for free, either through this or Tank Dramon, you know, whatever the case may be, or just good Evo targets in general. So got some hard plays for free, or to just regular play out, or good Evo targets. Tons and tons of different choices here. Literally all of our rookies are Commandramon. Next, I got Tankmon. It's just a 1 cost Evo, pretty solid guy here. 6,000 DP, dodges a lot of like removal and stuff like that off the field. But mainly just the 1 cost Evo. He's just here to get into like our level 7s pretty quickly. Our level 7s really kind of pull the deck together, make both strategies work, and we'll cover those when we get there. Then I got Sealsdramon. I went ahead and went with 4 of on the Sealsdramon. It is a 2 cost Evo, which is a bit more. However, he is a D-Brigade. So him being a D-Brigade is actually pretty important for the overall strategy. Blocker, great, because you want to stall a little bit while either you're doing your rookie rush or you're trying to get into your Etemons for free, your metal Etemons for free. A little bit of stall power goes a long way. Speaking of stall power, got our Dark Tyrannomon as another blocker for the deck, but also, again, just a 1 cost Evo is, I think, super important. Because it's going to help get into our level 5s here. I think I said level 7s earlier, but it helps get into our level 5s faster, these 1 cost Evos. So they're mostly just stair steps to get into these guys. First up, we have the OG BT3 Etemon. This one's got blocker built in. We know you will love some blocker. 6,000 DP on a level 5 is fairly low, but that's okay because the idea is for him to get deleted. So on deletion, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck, and you may play one level 6 Digimon with Etemon in its name among them without paying its memory cost. So great stuff. Now it does have to be level 6, so you can't go like bring out another Etemon. It has to be basically the metal Etemon, the level 6 Etemons. So this is our ideal level 5 that we really like to go into because, every time he dies, we typically will get to play more metal Etemons. We have tons in this deck, so it makes hitting very, very easy. But I think Tank Dramon is also incredibly important for the D Brigade engine. It's really hard to play D Brigade and not have this guy in here. You're going to hit off the Commandramon, but that's only 4 things. I don't think building a whole deck around D Brigade for just the 4 Commandramons is enough. If you're just playing D Brigade and you're only running Commandramons, it feels like a bit of a waste. I think there's just better rookies that could be better for an Etemon deck, a pure Etemon deck. So if you're going to go the D Brigade route, I really do recommend running Tank Dramon, because your turn, when one of your other Digimon with D Brigade in its type is deleted, it says other, by the way, you can't gain off of this one. Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. You may play one Commandramon from them without paying its memory costs. And the rest goes bottom of the deck in any order. So it's only the top 2 as opposed to Commandramon's top 3. But again, look at all the rookies we're playing here. We're playing a nice heavy 14 rookies of all Commandramons. You could even argue bumping it up to 16 if you really, really want to go heavy into the Rookie Rush D Brigade combo. It's just, you got to be careful with that, because any deck that can stop this Rookie Rush strategy, like one Mechanorimon, completely decimates the D Brigade Commandramon Rush. So I don't go super heavy into it. It is a fair amount of this deck, but it's not our only win con, where it could be if you go too heavy into it. It's really nice you have multiple win cons in a deck. So this is our secondary main level 5, okay? So both of these guys, super important. I like to get a Tank Dramon established off to the side, and then we can just keep cycling through our D Brigade stuff. And then while that's doing its strategy on the side, then we're going into, and now we're doing this Etemon, getting in the free megas, that sort of thing, as a side thing. So it's basically you're playing 2 different strategies at the same time. You get one established, and you do the other. So our next level 5 here, only a 2 of. I did sacrifice on both of these guys to include him, but I think he's an interesting include. So he reduces the Evo cost of your metal Etemons by 1, making them both 2 Evo cost. That's pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. And then he also gives jamming. So giving jamming to Etemon is pretty important, because they're only 10,000 DP on your own turn, so they can die fairly easily. So jamming is a nice little include. So great Evo targets. So when you hard draw the metal Etemons, this is the Etemon that you're going to want on field to digivolve those hard draw Etemons. Now, if you don't have any metal Etemons in hand, definitely go with the OG one to get to play them for free. So this is just if you hard draw them. This is if you don't have any and you want to play them for free. And then, of course, Tank Dramon doing its Tank Dramon thing. I went with 4 of the OGs because it is unblockable. Opponents just don't take in consideration that he is unblockable, and I think that's super important. He can steal games just if an opponent misplays and doesn't block at the right times, and then this guy can just swing for free. Also, your opponent sees a level 5, and they think, okay, well, I'll block that, I'll let this other one go through, and then you Evo this metal Etemon onto that level 5 and swing for game. So really, really like having him at a 4 of, as opposed to the new one. The new one's pretty interesting still, though. On your turn, for each of your Etemon in its name, in your trash, he gets 1,000. Okay, so he does get buffed on your turn. The other one is only on the opponent's turn. So he can get fairly big, and if you're doing that, then it really lessens the need for jamming. So kind of a surprise that they came together in the same set. This one giving jamming to the one that gets buffed on your own turn. Weird design choice there, I would say. But on deletion, Digivolve 1, it's okay. it's not ideal. You're going to want to be swinging in with a pretty big metal Etemon, and then probably digivolving on top of it with defeat here. So he won't get deleted that much, I wouldn't say. Now, if you're just getting to play it for free, that's why we're playing it, is because it's just more targets for the OG Etemon to bring to the field for free. So really kind of doubling up just about. I did bring it down by 1 down to 7 just because 8 level 6s, even if you're playing them for free, felt like a lot. Now, if you want to go ham and go for the full 8, go for it. I just thought it was a little excessive. Next, I do have the 2 defeat in here. This is kind of a flex spot for what you prefer. If you want to go for a Millenniumon, because Millenniumon can dodge a lot of effects that are really popular in meta. Craniumon is kind of a big tech card right now that a lot of decks are running. So being able to go Millenniumon to shuffle him away is kind of good. Removal of all different types is always awesome. Whereas this guy is, you only get his removal when he dies. Kind of a shame. But really, the when digivolving, delete a tamer is so good. Looking at Gabubons is being played so much in the meta right now. Clearing a mat off field through this digivolve completely shuts them down, especially when you're playing a black deck. Black has so many blockers as it is that once you take away their ability to go into bonds, only thing they're usually left with is like a rookie rush strategy with a little bit of hybrid in there, and those hybrids are pretty weak, so your blockers most of the time are going to be able to handle those hybrids anyways. So one defeat, just clearing that mat off, will completely decimate them. So I really like the defeat because he's a good meta counter right now, I think. Mostly the popular ones. Also, clearing a memory fixer from Jesmon, so that way they can't go Jesmon swing. They have to, sit on a Jesmon for a whole turn before they ever get to attack. So he's good against both of the most played decks in the format. So that's why I went with him as my level 7. Next we have Izzy. Yes, I'm running Izzy at 3. We're not running the Duo Tamer because with this deck, it's so important to hit on your deletion effects. So whether you're doing your Brigade on deletion effects or you're doing your Etemon on deletion effects, having an Izzy and getting that knowledge of what the next 3 cards of your deck is to see if it's worth it or not to actually suicide those guys is pretty important. So I think the Izzy being a memory fixer is awesome. All of our stuff here is 3 Evo cost. So with a memory fixer, it keeps it on our turn. But in addition to that, just being able to set our deck up and put everything in the right order, so that way we go, okay, there's that. My next card is Commandramon. Let me swing this Commandramon, have him suicide. Boom, I know my next card is a Commandramon. I get to play it for free, things like that. Same with the Etemons and the metal Etemons. Let me check the next 3. Okay, next 3, no metal Etemons the next 3. I don't need to suicide my Etemon just yet. That sort of thing. So I really like the Izzy. For sure. Next is, I would say, kind of a flex spots again for the deck. We've got 4 slots left. I really like some removal in my decks. So Iron Fisted Onslaught, this is your big boy remover, okay? Anytime they go into a Zwart or something like that, something massive that you literally just don't have the DP to get over, then Iron Fisted Onslaught removes it off field. Literally tonight, I was playing games where my opponent had 3 BL stars on field, dropped this, cleared all BL stars. I was playing against a green player. They had 2 different Digimon out there, but they both have a 12 play cost. Cleared them both. Clearing multiple megas at the same time is insane. Absolutely love it. But I think that Ultimate Flare as a balance for clearing a lot of rookies is still really cool too. So in the same kind of caveat to Iron Fist Onslaught clearing a bunch of big things or one big thing, whatever the big problematic card is, Ultimate Flare, one, just clearing multiple rookies, depending on what you're playing against. Playing against Bonds swings in, hits an Ultimate Flare, that Gabu goes down to a regular Gabu, and then the Ultimate Flare kills it, and then kills all those other rookies that they probably have on field because it's like a half Rookie Rush, half Warp Digivolve deck. So Ultimate Flare, really good card for making a meta call. Now against Jesmon, it does suffer if they go a Delicate Plan. Now a Delicate Plan usually is only played at a 2 of in a lot of those decks, and unless they're incredibly patient and they only wait for just the Jesmon to have it before they swing, then it's not as good. However, look at the deck they're playing against. If they're playing against this deck, do you think they're that worried about hitting into an Ultimate Flare? It is a black deck, but do you think they're really like, oh, this is security control, they're going to have Ultimate Flare? Against a deck like this, I don't think they're going to be as, worried, okay? Same with, they're not playing against 3 Musketeers. They're not worried about a whole lot of option cards sitting in your security. So a well-timed, well-hit Ultimate Flare, because they're impatient and they're thinking that, oh, I don't have to worry about Ultimate Flare against this deck, that's going to really, really wreck those Jesmon players. So both meta decks, the 2 most played decks of the format, Ultimate Flare hits really, really hard against. So I like to have it as a 2 of, and then Iron Fist's Onslaught at a 2 of, and then both of the, that's really, really solid, I think, for some removal. Black has some of the best removal in the game right now. That's why security control players, they play a lot of the yellow for the recovery. However, they play a lot of black cards for the removal aspect of the deck, as opposed to red. You got these really, really wide removal cards. Iron Fist Onslaught, can take out a whole bunch of things at once. Ultimate Flare can take out a whole bunch of things at once. Great removal card. Gwalt Swarmer also takes out a whole bunch of things at once. Black has some of the best removal in the game currently. And I think including 2 of those 3 seems like a very, very solid choice. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would, please like the video and subscribe. Just a little bit of help goes a super long ways. It helps the channel out tremendously, gets my videos out there, gets them seen. And if you really, really want to support the channel, check out the links in the description below. I'll have a link for my Patreon, which is displayed right here. You can get access to my Discord server that I have, as well as you can get the memory markers that we've had. These are just a few of my favorites from the past that we've had. The current one, Etemon's baby, as well as Gabumon's baby as well. Sunomon and Yamon. These guys are super adorable. I definitely love them so much. And every month a new one changes out, so make sure you check that out. As well as we have our new playmats. This is why I recreated this video. It's because our playmats are here finally, and they are super cool. I alternate between the black and white every single month for whoever wants to support this tier, as well as I have a tier just higher than that, so that way you don't also have to lose out on a memory marker. You can get both the memory marker and the playmat just in case you want both. Super awesome support from everyone that has supported in the past and who will support in the future. You guys are awesome. Also, if you want to check out my merch, my Teespring link is in the description below for that. We've got, the shirts that I wear on the channel that has the logo across. I love when I see people representing my merch in public. It is like one of the coolest feelings I've ever had in my entire life. Very, very awesome. As well as phone cases for you people that love Digimon so much like I do. A friend of mine custom made all these to fit these specific phone cases themselves, so the prices are a little bit higher just because I have to pay her back, as well as make a little tiny bit of profit because of how much unfortunately they take for their cut for Teespring. But like I said, if you can't do any of that, please just like the video and subscribe to the channel. Every time we hit a new mile marker for subscriptions, I give out free merch of all different types. 2000K, I think we're doing one of the playmat giveaways, so definitely be subscribed and ready for when that comes.